Right.
Let me just share that sound here.
All
And,
right, you guys are live on YouTube. Rev Wayne and Ozzy, this mic is all yours.
hey, buddy, how you doing? What's happening? This is Reverend Wayne Stills for Miracles Everywhere, and let me just take this right. And it's good to be here today. We're reading Anxiety to Love. How you doing, Audsie? Everything all right? How's it going? Okay.
Doing good, doing good.
Oh,
Hi, Rev
good.
Wayne. Hi,
How's
everybody.
it going? Okay, I have one song to play, and then we'll get to it. What do you think? Sound good?
Perfect.
All
Yes,
right, good. This
sounds
is
good.
a Christmas song. It's one that you've heard, but maybe you've heard it. You know the song, but I don't know if you've heard this version of it. It's actually more of a New Year's song, I guess. But I guess it's a holiday season. It's a seasonal song. Let's put it that way. So it's called "The Love Won't Break Your Heart." This love won't break your heart by Annalise Emmerich. It's a cover, obviously.
2 minutes till it's midnight. We've been drinking since the sun went down. Everyone's been kissing, throwing love around. Somebody shouts, change is coming. You just smile and drink your beer. Everywhere the air's a humming. It's all of us right here. And we sing, should old acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? Time to run beneath the New Year moon, joining hands and crossing our hearts. Pass around the rest of the wine. It's a perfect start. Old flames and broken hearts and nights under the stars. One by one we fall asleep, wrapped in each other's arms. And we dream, should old acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. Should all acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should all acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? For old lang syne, my dear, for all of us right here. We'll take a cup of kindness yet and toast to the new year. For all
All right. It was Old Sein, or some kind of love. I think it was called officially. This kind of love. This kind of love. So that's a beautiful song. I like it's from an album called Folk, or playlist that they called Folk Christmas. So there's a lot of good songs on that album. So if you want to get on Spotify, if you liked it, check it out. All right, so miracles everywhere, miracles are everywhere, and today we have "Anxiety to Love" by Queens of the, and I'm ready whenever you are to rock and roll and to get the ball rolling. It's a great book for anyone who wants very approachable approach to A Course in Miracles, and so anyone who's hasn't doesn't know already. We've been reading this book for a while. It's a great book, a great approach, a very a therapeutic approach, and the course is a therapy, and it's a good way of of going through the course and learning, as opposed to necessarily coming at it from a very metaphysical perspective, which the course also has a metaphysical side as well. This is a very it's a good way to carry it around with you wherever you go. It's a very it, it's close to the vest approach. It's a very carry around with you type of approach. So I'm wherever you are. So you want anything? You want to ready? Want to start? Well, allow others to be where they are. Is that where we're starting from?
Audsie, you are muted.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't get my button there. Yeah.
Oh
Right
yeah.
here.
Yeah. The
Sorry.
average. The average. The
Yeah.
evasion. Oh, so we stopped in the middle last time, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should go back a little. Maybe we should go
Yeah.
back.
Let's go back here.
Yeah.
Well, it started at the step 10.
Step 10.
Uh,
Yeah. This book
yeah.
has another book. This book has a lot of steps and mantras and exercises, and we, to the best we can, we try to do it here. We don't necessarily write much down. So sometimes we do though. Sometimes we write stuff
Yeah.
down if we can.
So we'll just maybe, how about we start at I'll just start. Turned
Yeah.
out that I needed to learn how to speak up to my dad before I could truly begin to see our relationship differently and truly express love for him. I needed to work some things out on this earthly level. I realized that I tried to take a spiritual bypass around this situation rather than do the difficult work of learning how to speak to my dad face to face. Yet that evasion was also a part of my lesson. I learned that bypassing doesn't work. If you feel stuck with an issue, maybe it is something you need to go through in order to learn. And this is okay. Call on your inner therapist for help in seeing it differently while you go through it. If you forget to ask for help while you are dealing with the situation, ask your inner therapist afterward. Allowing ourselves to be exactly where we are and to go through what we need to go through without feeling guilt is an extraordinary act of kindness toward ourselves. And from the text, chapter 14, the happy learner cannot feel guilty about learning.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. You know, I mean, one of the things also is it's incredibly difficult, I guess you could say, to change your interpretation of events while you're going through them. Especially events that are difficult to go through. You tend to be, you're in the, it's kind of like waking up from a dream while you're in the dream is difficult because you're in the dream. In that nighttime dream. You're in the dream, you're in the moment, so much so that you're moving forward, and something you want to move backwards, but you're moving forward. Yeah, so it's very difficult to do that. So that's why it's a miracle to change your mind. Because something you say, it's reinterpreted. She says, she's allowing ourselves to be exactly where we are, what we need to go through with the extraordinary guy. And so she's calling your inner therapist to help you see things differently while you go through it.
Yeah.
That's very difficult. I mean, it's like, you're in a fight with somebody. I'm in a fight with my wife or my kid, and I said to my kid, "All right, let's just stop, and let's just see it from a more happy place. Let's just see this from a more Let's interpret things differently, right in the middle of a fight. How hard is that? How hard is it just to drop your current idea, which is not working for you, and come from a different place?
Yeah.
But if you can do it, if you it's just if you change the incident, change the memory just enough to look at it differently, even if it's just change it just for a little, just as a method of insight.
Yeah.
That's what I get when I first saw that. I was like, that's a miracle. You're going through some negative situation and you're getting pushed through it. And in the middle of the situation, you go, oh, this situation is actually a good thing. Like when I first got sick, I was kind of bummed about it until I realized that my interpretation changed. This is my opportunity to tell my story. To my story out to friends. In other words, to essentially for me to learn about myself and and teach about to others who I am and what I'm about. Because I was just doing that anyhow. I'm teaching anyhow who I am, always. So I might as well teach. I'm teaching myself who I am, and others are, and by indirectly, I'm teaching others.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I got out of the moment. I was able to observe myself completely, and it was very easy for me to reinterpret the situation. I had no choice because after a while, you're going to live with something, and you remove yourself and stop living with it. You see what something is for what it is. You live with somebody long enough, you stop worrying about it. Happy learning can't feel as long as you're learning lessons, you can't feel guilty about anything. As long as you're learning.
Yeah.
And as long as in the minute you feel guilty about something, you look back on it and you ask for help on reinterpreting the past. And once you learn from it, the guilt goes away. And then the guilt goes away, and that's when healing comes. The only other choice is to bypass it, suppress it, suppress it, pretend it's not there. Say something like, well, this didn't happen, so it's not there, so I can just ignore it. Which is what a lot of people do. That's why I think she calls it a spiritual bypass, because it feels very spiritual. We say someone's not there. Oh, my fight with my father or her father, my fight with my wife, my fight with my kids, didn't really happen. It's a dream, so I won't look at it. And that dream sticks around, and it gets really dark and becomes a nightmare, and it's because of my experience. I was watching a lot of scary movies lately. Obviously, at nighttime. Now, at nighttime, I look around my neighborhood and I'm looking at it, and I think I see people. My mind projects it around my neighborhood. I know it's not real, but I see it. I don't see the beauty as much as I used to. I see nice trees, and I see people coming back behind the trees.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming from those shows, and like like I see watching a lot of Chicago Fire and a lot of PD. So now when I look around, I'm like, oh, I see people. That's like a place for a fire. People are going to be dying in there, and I see all the mind projects it out. So instead of saying I'm not going to think that because that becomes impossible, Then you say that before you think it. You reinterpret the reasons why you're watching it. Well, my kid loves it. So,
Mm,
I want to hang out with my kid. So I'm going to do it for my kid. So now I'm watching this for a different reason completely. My
mm,
mind knows why I'm watching it. And so that I no longer am being hurt by these thoughts. I'm now being helped by them almost. Now every time I see a projection of something, I see a nighttime. It's scary around the house. Not scary. I'm not really scared, but it's eerie around the house because I'm watching four
mhm.
horror movies in the past 3 days. So I'm walking around the house and you feel eerie, but oh, reminds me of my daughter and horror movies that I watch with her and how she likes it so much when you laugh and having a
Ah,
time.
nice.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's the cross. It was the Roman death penalty and something that means life.
yeah. That makes me think of a situation several years ago when Ash really wanted me to watch something with him. And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I didn't really take much of it, but he said it a couple times, and it was a documentary about Lil Peep. It's an artist, a singer,
Uh,
and so finally I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch it. And in my mind was really resisting this, like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this. But I just was like, I'm going to do it because he wants to watch it with me.
right,
So I do it. And I absolutely loved that documentary.
right.
And I fell in love with the artist, Lil Peep. And I actually named my bird after the
Yeah.
artist
Little
Lil
beep.
Peep.
Little
Yeah,
beep. That's a good name
that's,
for it.
and I can't tell you how true that is. Like it was just this resistance to watching it, but I told myself I'm watching it for Ash with Ash. And
Right.
normally I would have just sat through
Yeah,
distracted. I was totally it was absolutely riveting.
yes.
So I
Yeah.
recommend that documentary to people.
What's
Little
it
Peep.
called? Little
Uh,
People.
no, it's called Everybody Everywhere. I'll tell you, everywhere, everybody, everywhere, something.
I'll go Little Peep.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
So good. What a and it was such an opportunity to have a discussion with him about this whole
right.
the
Exactly.
whole thing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And seeing the happiness, she dissects it. She understands it. I see her. She goes through it. She's very good at understanding. She happens to like those type of movies. I love them too as a kid. That's why I don't like
Yeah.
them. I don't watch them anymore. I've
Yeah.
watched 1,000 of them.
Yes.
My mind's all screwed up. It's like now that I'm
Yeah.
reopening old wounds, with these new movies.
Yes.
Yeah, so, but
Oh, I hear you, Rev Wayne. The other day, Mike had something on TV. I was like, "What are you watching?" I forget what it was. Oh, it was. He's like, "Oh, a Nightmare on Elm Street." I was like,
oh, yeah.
Mute it." I was like, "Mute it. I don't even want to hear it." He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I don't want to be taken
Well,
back
is
into
that
it."
interpretation of that movie is another example. That movie actually helped me believe, have more faith in God. I'll tell you why. I saw that movie twice when I was younger, and then I saw the movie more recently, actually, because my kids wanted to watch it. And I always said to myself, I better not dream of this guy.
Oh, frick.
If I have a dream of this guy, I'm have a hard time. Because imagine someone dreaming, and you have a dream about Freddy at night.
Yeah.
I mean, if I saw
I used to sleep with the Bible under my pillow
yeah,
after
well,
I
maybe,
watched that.
well, I'm not sure that would work in the movie. In the movie that he kind of overcame that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, but I never did. I've never had a dream about Freddy.
No.
And I was terrified that I was. So the mind is very powerful. It was my mind wouldn't be able to handle that. So God was like, "No, don't worry about it. I got your back."
You got
Yeah.
you covered. I won't
Yeah.
send you to the loony bin
No,
tonight.
no. Yeah, because I woke up, yeah, Freddy. Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was one of the scariest villains ever.
That's what happened to me. The girl in it. I can't remember her name now, but the
Yeah, I remember her. She was.
Nancy. Nancy.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
Nancy. She started getting that gray streak in her hair, remember? And then it got more and more prominent and prominent, that white. He said, well, the reason I remember it is because I started getting that thing, this white streak, and then all of a sudden I'm watching this movie with Nancy, and I'm like, oh my God,
Freddy's
I'm
coming.
Nancy, he's coming for me. It was crazy.
That's
Yeah, that
weird.
was I don't know why that scared me, that
No,
movie, more
it was
than,
a boogeyman. Everyone falls. Halloween. It was in one town.
yeah,
Friday 13th was in a certain camp. So
yeah, late,
you stay
yeah.
away from those places. You were pretty much okay. But this Freddy, if you fall asleep and you were in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You can't
you
go
could
to
be,
sleep.
yeah, you could be
Wow.
anywhere. You had to sleep. So that's why he was so scary. Is that he could get you anywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That was, thanks for that memory. I'm
Oh
I'm really
yeah,
loving
yeah,
it.
sure, yeah, of course.
All right.
So you want to read out?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the happy learner cannot feel guilty about learning. We may even try to bypass our feelings. Sometimes, for instance, it seems easier just to take the high road and not express anger. But the first step in healing something is to recognize that it is there. This means feeling our feelings. Yeah, okay. So it means feeling our feelings. And now the statement is, the course says that anger is never justified. Oof.
Yeah, just that it doesn't mean you're gonna feel anger.
Oh, but it doesn't say we never feel
Yeah,
anger.
exactly. It just means don't justify it. In other words, if I'm
Ah,
angry, you mean justify what you're saying is I should be angry. I'm allowed to
yeah,
be angry because you did this to me. You did
right.
that to me. It's your fault that I'm angry, so I'm allowed to be angry. But it's no one's fault. No one's you're angry because you're having a psychotic break, and you think someone's done something to you, but no one's done a thing to you.
Yeah.
There's no one out there to do anything to you, so you're nuts. So so don't justify it. Just accept the fact that there's anger there.
Yeah,
There's anger
yeah,
that you've identified with and said that's me.
yeah.
And so once you realize that, then the anger just will kind of dissolve and go away. And then the more anger will come up. Don't justify it. It's not justifiable. There's no justification for it. Don't justify it. Don't use justification comes with blame. Always. If you're justifying it, it means you're saying it's your fault. It's that person's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And then maybe it's even your fault,
Yeah.
but it's always somebody's fault.
Yeah, somebody's got to have,
Yeah,
somebody was the catalyst, somebody did something,
exactly,
or we
exactly,
both did a little bit of something. We both,
exactly.
either place
There's got to be
were,
some guilt. There's got to be some guilt.
yeah,
If not, then there's no point for the ego. Ego deals in guilt.
yeah, yeah.
And so that's what it means by if you need if well you want to read on, I guess, if you
So if you get angry at someone, allow it. If you feel the need, you need to try to fix a situation out in the world, do it. Once we finally realize that ignoring our feelings or blasting others with anger doesn't work, and trying to fix people or situations out there will likely fail, then we'll realize that there is another way.
yes. The important thing that whole thing is feeling our feelings.
Mhm.
And blasting other people doesn't necessarily work. It doesn't necessarily work, but other people don't want to be blasted
Yeah.
by your feelings all the time.
Yeah.
No one wants to be expressed upon.
Expressed upon.
I mean, it's true, but
Yeah, that's so good.
So what you do is you just feel it, allow it to be there. Don't try to get rid of it. Don't justify it. Allow the anger just to sit there and let go of it. Just let it be there. Let it grow and let it sting you. Let all the thoughts and images that come with it be there. Let them yell and scream at you. And then the louder they get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and they'll hurt more. And then they go away.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
can't hurt you. They just get louder and they're just blabber mouths. And
Yeah.
they go, they have nothing else to do, but if they can't hurt you, they're just fear mongers. Yeah.
The fear mongers.
And then in another way, of course, once you realize that there's no way out, you have to look for another way.
Yeah. Gotta go another way. Can't.
No one wants to be expressed upon. Right? Voice still is right.
I love that. No one wants to be expressed upon. That's a
That's
good
true.
one.
I don't know what that does. All right, so allow others to be what they are.
Yeah, pick it up.
I used to get very frustrated with my friend Andrew, a fellow course student and a serial job quitter, because he often found himself in financial difficulties. Once, when he started complaining about his struggles with his current job, I felt frustration building. When I wanted to impatiently tell him, take your pattern to your inner therapist already. But instead I came out with, this is all somehow coming from you. I know, he responded. They continued with his complaint. My frustration and anger kept building. I wanted to get off the phone. I started. I wanted to get off the phone. I started doing chores around the house while I listened so that I could at least get something useful done. And suddenly I remembered a teaching from the course. The task of the miracle worker is not to get angry. Is not to get angry at other people's wrong-minded thoughts. That's from the manual. This was exactly what was happening. I was irritated with the thought pattern that led Andrew to believe in his own complaint and to believe that he could fix this painful situation without the help of a therapist. It is irritating sometimes when you're left alone. I know my family is not as involved as I'd like them to be. Yeah. And it's just you're sitting alone with they treat your spirituality as just a hobby.
Mm.
You sit around, it's your way of life, and all you think about is your spirituality and God, and you see, well, Wayne is his cute little Course in Miracles, nice,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
and you have to not let it turn you into a thumper, a course thumper, and try to convert them. If they want it, they want it. They don't. And when they do, they do. So, which is sometimes. In fact, when I was frustrated by my own mistake of deciding that Andrew needed to be fixed, in fact, I was frustrated by my own mistake of deciding that Andrew needed to be fixed. The instant I realized this, I turned to my inner therapist with my feelings and my willingness to heal them. I realized I was the one who needed correction. I could allow Andrew to be where he was in his growth. I felt the burden lift. Not even a minute later, Andrew stopped complaining and said, I just heard a small voice inside my head. Sounded like a voice say, you need to take this to your inner therapist.
Wow.
I feel okay
Isn't
now.
that cool?
Yeah, well, you let it go. If she gets to that sort of hootless place, she goes, all right, I don't really care. He's where he
Wow.
is. He's where he is.
Wow. And he just hears her voice say what she was gonna say. I feel okay. I love that so much. This is my favorite story. Wow.
Yeah, so when you let go, trying to figure out how to do something, a lot of times we have no answers for something, but we keep on asking ourselves. We have no answer for. And so when we can't figure out and then when we don't know the answer, we beat ourselves up. And so that's sort of like what she had.
Yeah.
So it takes you to the therapist. So she just basically gave up that. She gave up trying to figure out how to fix this person, how to control the person's experience. So I'm not going to try to control his experience anymore. I'm going to let his experience be his, and mine be mine. And then suddenly he must have felt a shift in consciousness. And the miracle entered into his consciousness and shifted his consciousness and aligned it with hers. And what else could have happened? I mean, somehow the energy in the room shifted.
Wow. So amazing.
And the affinity for her, their affinity for each other shifted to their mind be, because they are one. We're all one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they suddenly became much closer. I was blown away when I let the miracle come to my mind. Once I let a miracle come into my mind, the whole picture changed. Andrew got the answer he needed, and it came from within himself. I couldn't have told him what he needed. It had to come from within him. And
Hmm.
it came because I had let healing come into my own mind, where we both exactly we both we were both exactly where we needed to be for our own growth and learning.
Hmm.
So she basically was her own self healed her own mind and her mind, my mind, your mind, Lynn's mind, Karen, Dove, Sharon, all of us share one mind.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about trying to fix somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't have to really worry about fixing myself either. And once I let go of trying to fix anybody,
Well,
including myself, everything gets fixed.
yeah. Yeah.
Nature's not trying to fix itself.
No.
Nature just does what it does. It's very, very confidently. Nature is infinite. It takes care of itself. Yeah, so just let nature take it. Let the infinite take care of you.
Yeah.
And the infinite is just that. It's infinite. It's been taking care of you ever since you've been. Ever since the infinite takes care of you. Has always been taking care of you.
Hmm.
Just before you were seemingly born,
Hmm.
and will take care of you forever and ever and ever, ever and ever and ever. You'll be taken care of. So the idea that we're somehow going to fall out of care,
Yeah.
it's just a trick we're playing on ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. So this is a dream. This is a dream of the night. We're playing a trick on ourselves. I'm not there. I'm not here. I'm there. Yeah. I'm not in my bed. I'm in Alabama. Yeah, with a monster who's chasing me.
Hmm. Do you remember that movie, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks? When they,
Mm, I don't.
when they, the
Is
bed, they took
it
off on the bed.
a
Remember that
A
movie?
Disney movie?
I'm not sure if it was Disney, but it just
It
came
sounds
flashed into my head when they're
it
on the bed and they're, woo, I don't know. Anyway,
sounds like a movie I might have seen as a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I
All
don't know.
right,
I
so
saw that.
all right, so in this case, it may be wise to utilize a compromise approach
Oh,
to mind.
wait. We're starting a
I'm
new,
sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry. It's the page, right?
Yeah.
So a question of medication. Another important point about
Oh,
being.
sorry.
Another important point about being where you are has to do with medication. According to the Course, sometimes the illness has a sufficiently strong hold over the mind to render a person temporarily impossible to the atonement, the undoing of fear. So that's what the atonement is the undoing of fear. In this case, it may be wise to utilize a compromised approach to the mind and body, in which something from the outside is temporarily given healing belief. That's pretty cool because I came for a long time before here. I was in Christian Science, and they don't have that. They really don't have that. They have caveat.
Mm,
They actually have it for eating. They say for eating we have to actually eat right now because we don't have we're advanced enough to stop eating. And I wonder why they don't have that. They're losing their numbers because there's a lot of other places people go where they can see doctors. So they should perhaps use the same philosophy they have for eating food for seeing
mm.
doctor. You know,
Oh,
but,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
why not? I mean, they might actually because they have their own reasons, I guess. Who knows? But so when I saw that here, that made so much sense to me because how dangerous it is for suddenly the people taking medicine to suddenly stop taking their medicine, throwing it out, or not to go see doctors because they don't want to deal with magic.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been taking medicine my whole life, but I still understand and why medicine is what it is. It's just a symbol. It's a symbol of like anything else. It's a symbol for healing.
What do you mean? You
Uh,
take medicine. You've
yeah,
taken medicine.
I just said that I've been taking medicine my whole life.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, my whole
Sorry.
life. And I'm saying, to me, whenever I take it, in my head, I thank you, God, for this symbol of healing.
Hmm.
And then I take it to remind myself that this is not doing the healing. The healing comes from God. But this is something that I'm taking as a symbol, a universal belief in healing in a little pill. I remember Ernest Holmes said, healing, if it can come in a pill or a prayer.
Ah, yeah.
So I've always kind of had this idea.
Mm.
Pardon my feels very dry for some reason. So anyhow, so I like that. Fear is not if your fear goes up, then everything falls apart. So there's no reason to, you're better off letting the outside world help you and learn how it functions, and then you can pull back slowly, slowly from magic, because everything
Hmm.
is magic if you think about
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. The
it.
body's magic. So there
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go. That's your whole structure.
Well, we're both wearing glasses.
Right. Yeah.
Start with glasses instead of pills. And why start? Everyone wants to start with medicine.
Hmm.
Medicine is the hardest to do. It's like, don't start with a bus coming at you. Start with medicine. Start with something easy. Like start with jackets in the cold.
Right. Yeah.
If you can handle that, start with, like, don't start with the tough stuff. Start with the little magic that we have. Start with that.
Yeah. That's nice. That's great
I should get.
idea.
I should, see if I can talk while having to drink this Gatorade.
Right. Right. Right.
The medicine is helpful compromise. Yes, it's a helpful compromise. Yes, it's a helpful compromise. The healing, absolutely. I mean, it's just like everything else is. It's all a big compromise. I mean, animals. I mean, a lot of people don't wear clothing, but we compromise. We're magic. This is magic. This is all magic. With the cold, what is the cold? It's something we invented.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever other reasons we have to wear clothing, but one of the reasons we have is we want to keep warm. For protection of dealing with the weather and conditions. But that's something that we should have. We're God that can take care of us. We're omnipotent and omnipresent.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we just snap our fingers and say, "All right,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear a jacket tonight. I like the way I look just like this. I don't want to put a coat over myself, and I'm gonna be warm no matter what. There you go. I'm warm now. We can't. We don't. We should be able to do that. Why? So why were we not doing it?
Mm.
Because we don't really want to.
Well, we don't really believe it.
Yeah,
I
we don't
mean,
really
I
believe.
I
Right.
don't really believe it. I'm gonna be like, you're an idiot and you're gonna freeze
Exactly.
to death.
Exactly.
And I'm
Exactly.
thinking, there's no way in hell I'm gonna do that because I've tried it, and then my hands hurt and my feet hurt,
But but
and
but but you
like,
might get off your medicine.
right, might
If
get off the
somebody said to you,
medicine.
if somebody said to you, you don't take medicine. Why should you take medicine? God loves you.
Right.
But don't wear your coat. Don't wear your coat outside. Oh, what are you, an idiot?
Yeah.
I'll wear
Yeah.
my coat outside. But yeah, but I'll take. I won't take my medicine anymore. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that work? I mean, if you can't even wear, if you have to wear a coat, if you have to wear your glasses,
Hmm.
you probably can't. You know,
If you have to have the meat suit on,
yeah, exactly,
gotta have
exactly.
the meat suit, the whole
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Then
You're never gonna get away.
wait on the pills. Wait on
Mhm.
wait on the tough stuff.
Or don't go to the hospital for an operation. Don't bring your kids. That's a big one where some parents don't believe in it and then don't, and their kids die.
Yeah, that's always a bummer.
That's like, it's just this big controversy. You're right. The medication is so controversial.
Yeah, people always there's a lot of reasons why people do that. But anyhow, so that's what I think about that. One reason why I like the course in terms of, because it's clear. The course is very clear that it's not I mean, it's his dreams. You're going to dream doctors, and you're in dream medicine for dream sickness. There's a whole bunch of nonsense. So, but we can say that here while we're talking, and we can feel all all connected. But we have to go outside and stay connected.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
the
and
tough.
I mean, it's minus, 30 below Celsius some days. It's only minus 20, I think, and there's snow. Like, I mean, it's so real.
I know that's absolutely.
You,
This is in
it's
Chicago.
crazy.
Chicago is very cold lately in Chicago, and you go outside, it's just very real. Or it gets
Yeah.
hot, very hot. It's real.
Yeah.
Feels so. It's like in the movie The Nines, he says, "Is the world real?" And she goes, "It's as real as anything else. It's as real as anything can be for you.
Mm,
This is as real as anything is ever going to be.
mm.
Well, whatever it is, the nature of this dream is it's not here, but the dream is here.
Yeah. Yeah. The nature of the world is not here.
Is not
Right?
here. But
Yeah.
there's something. But still, I'm hitting the dream. I'm just hitting something that's not here.
Mhm.
But if the nature of what's around me is non-existent.
Yeah.
But still, it would be very difficult for me to not see it. So that'd be tough for me to do that first. So I compromise and I say, this is here, and I accept that. I'm not going to try to break the laws of physics by pretending it's not here, and that I see nothing in the room. I see no shapes. I see nothing. I see no separation. I obviously see separation,
Hmm. Yeah.
and for me to ignore that completely would be foolish and stupid. So the same thing with compromising to an extent where I put myself in danger.
Hmm.
And if somebody's fearful of undoing his fear to such an extent that it would actually hurt him, it benefits nobody.
Yeah.
Take,
That's
take
right.
the do take the magic. Put the coat on.
That's the code.
Just take the Gatorade.
Mhm.
I'm apt to throw up. I feel like someone's just pouring cement into my throat.
Wow. That's an interesting,
All right.
wow.
All right. So, in short, take medicine if you need it. There you, that's it. She said in
There
one
we
sentence.
go.
She said in one sentence what I've been saying for the last
Yeah, we've been talking for
half hour.
2 weeks on this point.
There's nothing wrong with doing so. I relied on times. Whether we use pharmaceutical medication or alternative treatments doesn't matter. Both are equal illusions. Both things are outside ourselves that we believe can heal us, which can be thought of as magic. Yes, breathing is magic. It is. You're right.
Yeah,
Breathing.
Karen.
Yeah, she's right. Breathing. Everything is magic here. We're walking around and we're all a bunch of magicians.
Yep.
Which people thought it was magic. There is no need to feel guilty about either kind of magic.
Oh, I gotta go. No need to feel guilty. Hmm.
But if you choose to take medication, do it with your inner therapist. As I was saying about this, observe that as a symbol. In other words, take the medicine while asking your inner therapist to take your belief in the medication as well as your belief in the problem that warrants the medication. Is it you better read?
In exchange for a miracle, Rev Wayne's gonna actually use the miracle of Gatorade because we don't want him to keel over on us in this session today. And Karen, you might be wondering, why should I take medication if the world is just an illusion? Why, that's a good question. Yeah, why should I? Or why should I bother doing anything healthy at all? Fuck yeah, I'm going to eat all the chocolate. I'm not eating any fruits and vegetables. It boils down to this. Hardly any of us truly recognize that our minds are already healed. Ta-da!
Yeah.
That's it.
So I saw a movie last night called Parallel.
Yeah.
It's a movie about parallel universes, and it's true. The guy went to a union and he started he looked at everyone as not real. he started killing people. It's sort of like what they're saying here that what she said. I still believe it boils down to hardly. I still haven't said everything. What was it? Um, Why should I bother doing anything else at all? Yeah, why should I bother doing anything else at all? In other words, why should I bother thinking that anything here is real? I should be able to eat cheesecake, eat ice cream. I should treat that person like crap. He's not real. This is not real. You have trouble that way. You're doing stuff that's not. You're doing something that's nasty and mean, and you're not caring about anybody who's that real anyway.
Mhm.
So what do I care?
Well, you could I see people living like that, or I
Oh yeah,
interpret that they are, and
oh yeah,
I mean,
of course,
but
of
I
course.
mean that you're only hurting yourself. It comes back to everything I give, I've given to myself,
Sure.
and I could
Yeah,
completely see that. Yeah.
yeah. You hurt yourself, and then you also can hurt the others in your dream. From your perspective,
Hmm.
you're only hurting yourself, but there are other people that we've hurt in our own community. The people.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you get to a
Mhm.
place where you think I can do anything because this is my dream.
Mm.
Lynn, you got your hand up.
Yeah, you're making me think of it's like video games. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys have both seen a lot of video games. I surely have, because my whole family are big time video gamers. And what happens in these games, the character goes out, they kill things, they get killed. There's like lots of
Yeah,
whether it's a war game, or it's a like a Lord of the Rings kind of a game, or adventure where you're the what do you call it, the you pretend that you're the character, and you get killed in that game, and guess what happens? You respawn, you come back,
yeah.
and you go at it again.
You reincarnate. Yeah,
Yeah, and really that's exactly what this is like. It is like a video game. um but we don't see it that way. We think, that, the lives are real. We think that our life is real. We don't recognize that we're going to respawn if we
exactly.
and then we'll just be back in the game again. But we continue to keep coming back and coming back and coming back until we get that. Anyway, that's what I had to say. You reminded me of that when you were talking about that movie you saw. Because yeah, if you didn't, if it didn't occur, if you didn't recognize that what you were being in contact with was real. And you know I think so much of our um, lives we're living with believing that the other people around us are not real.
Right.
The other people around us are not the same as
Well,
we are. They don't have the
yeah.
same feelings. um,
Yeah, well, yeah, that's same as us, but, except in the areas that will serve our ego.
yeah,
But you're the same as me in areas that serve my ego. In other words, you understand what I want, and you want the same. You want what I want too. You want from me what I want for myself,
yeah,
which is not true. You know, your feelings are not necessarily aligned with my feelings, unless we work on that.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
most people, we are not necessarily thinking like you're thinking, unless you actually, but I know if I'm talking to somebody, and I assume that they're thinking this, and I assume that they're thinking that, and they say, no, you into major problems because they've been thinking that, they've been thinking this. And so you think that you're dealing with a person that's not even there. And so you're yeah, you're dealing with a non-reality, and so you're making up a person, that making up people.
Yeah, they're in your own
Yeah,
mind.
you're in your own mind, exactly. And so it's just difficult to know what you're doing, because the person is now dealing with you who's not dealing with you. You're dealing with somebody else. Everyone's dealing with somebody else. There's billions of people walking around that aren't real.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but But the movie
I'm
last night
just,
the movie last night was pretty cool because it was parallel universes is what it was. Because when he went into the other universe, he just assumed they weren't real. And if nobody's real, then you can do what you want until you get to your reality. If lucid at night, I should be able to do whatever I want in the dream because I'm not, right.
hey, I got a question about
Sure.
what's real. What's real in the world here? Have you, any of you heard that there's drones
Yeah.
flying in New
Yeah.
Jersey?
This
Okay,
is
because
Jersey.
there's people saying it's fake news. There's
Uh,
people saying it's real.
no,
Like,
there is. I mean, unless it's a major hoax, I've seen them on TV
yeah,
over
yeah, me
Jersey and New
too. I've
York.
seen them. It's like crazy, isn't it?
I
Like,
mean,
what do you,
I've never heard of such nonsense in my life, but
I,
Well, geez, you can get a drone on Amazon. They're pretty cheap.
oh,
yeah.
I know, but they're
So many
saying
people
like
have.
50 of them coming up through the water, 50 at a time.
Well,
Like,
people join together and want to, make people afraid. It's,
mm.
I mean, it's not like a conspiracy or anything. It's people being idiots.
Yeah, sure. But still, the government should. It's weird because if it wasn't a bunch of idiots, what would the government has not telling us anything? I mean, it's liable to cause many people to think conspiracy theories. It's liable to scare the whole country. So you think the FBI or the CIA will come out and say, "Look, don't worry about it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
This is what
Well,
it
they
is."
did. That is what they come out. They're like, don't look up, don't worry about it. It's all
Yeah, well,
good. They say that, but
they
they don't give
they
anything.
said that they said the same thing. One of the senators said that it was funny. He goes, they said that it doesn't appear to be dangerous. And he goes, well,
Right.
I could look at the sky and say the same thing. He goes, I don't need that. I need more information. He goes, opened my window and I looked up and I go, they don't appear dangerous. I need more from the government. So it's
Hmm.
just weird. You see a bunch of things in the sky. No, no, no. It basically, they're unidentified flying objects.
My theory was that it is the War of the Worlds being
Oh yeah.
filmed, but it's just a glitch in the Matrix because it's coming in on a different timeline. That's my theory.
Maybe.
My
Yeah,
funny theory.
there's a channel I see is called by the woman that was on that show with Kevin James. She was she grew up in Scientology and she left Scientology. Now she fights them all the time. Um,
Oh, Remy?
yes, yes, Remy, and she
Yeah,
has there's a channel called Growing Up in
Leia.
Scientology.
Yeah,
Yeah, growing up in Scientology, and one of the things it says that they have maybe it's Zainu.
they knew.
That was very
Funny.
funny.
Well, and and,
Oh,
and the thing is, that's so funny is that the drones are flying over the golf course that Donald Trump owns.
Yeah, I thought it also maybe it's coming from the future to get rid of them.
oh, great.
Or yeah, or it could be
Yeah,
just a bunch of people got drones and said, "Hey,
that's
let's
right.
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
drones and go out and harass people with our drones."
yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, because I hope this for the future that they change history. Uh, next week, Kamala will be in office. Well, none of
Yeah.
us, none of us know the difference at all. Yeah,
They don't know what it is. That's why they can't say, I bet.
that's
They're
right.
like, we don't know what the hell this is. So
Next week we'll wake up. There'll be nothing in the sky at all. Kamala will be president, and yeah, it'll be funny. But
well, this
yeah,
is it though.
this is it.
I did hear though that there's a clause in whatever the book is for government that if there is an alien invasion or something, they can't pass over the presidency. So that this is what I've heard. The government has created this conspiracy so that Donald Trump they can't do the exchange of the presidency because they're under this attack of aliens.
Oh
That's
my
one of the
God.
ways that you can't that you seriously. That's what I've heard.
What do you exchange? What does that mean?
The transfer of power
Thank
Oh,
you.
from
I see.
Biden to the Trump.
So
That's just a bunch of bull.
Donald Trump is behind this whole thing, so he doesn't have.
Not Donald Trump, the other people, so that Donald
Uh,
Trump doesn't whatever
Oh,
the other
maybe,
one
and you know what? As
Biden's
people,
behind
as
it.
Democrats are so likely to do crap like that,
Yeah. Hey,
they're not.
Biden? You think Biden's
Yeah.
behind it? Good Lord.
And it's not possible.
That's what I've heard in my little true crime community. I get lots of info about that's a big topic right now in our
Well, the
Oh,
community
Democrats,
that's
there.
hilarious.
they really would be wolves in sheep's clothing if they were doing that.
Yeah.
This was a smart party. They,
How,
they fake aliens.
Yeah,
Sharon?
Democrats.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
Go
wanted
ahead,
to ask
Sharon.
Audrey, how do they feel in Canada
Oh,
about
how did
Trump? How do they
I
feel in Canada with our new president-elect? Do they have any reactions? I mean, I know we're on broadcast, but personally, I
Oh,
don't like
I
them.
don't know
So,
how Canada feels about it, but I know how I feel about it. I think it's hilarious because to me, he's the celebrity apprentice. I'm like, oh my God. This is, to me, watching it is like a movie. It's just funny to
it
me. And
really
I
is.
don't
I
have
mean,
to live in
you-
it though. So that's the thing. And I mean, we have our own stuff with our prime minister. He's a wackadoodle too.
right. But
I
you
mean,
know, what I
Stick to
found
'em.
very hard to believe is that the evidence was there in the whole country. Half the country voted for somebody who, to me, it's dangerous to have him as commander in chief. I just, that's just something I'll never change that because as a personality, I don't like bullies. But at the
mm.
same time, I wondered, and I know I'm the bully too. I know that everything I see is in my mind, but it doesn't mean I like what you said, Audrey, because it is hilarious when you start to realize that this whole thing is made up. Him winning is actually the biggest
Well,
joke,
yeah,
right?
it's so funny to me. I'm like, and really, I mean, who wouldn't want a bully to be running the country? God, I wouldn't want, I mean, if I'm believing in this and in the world, of course, I would want somebody that has a backbone and is going to make America great again. I'd vote for him.
And
I'd
then
vote
as
for him.
soon as they get challenged by
Shit
anything, they
done.
just lay down and die because
Yeah.
he does not put up with any kind of challenge. He's not he's only a bully if you're small and weak. He's not a bully to Elon Musk. He's not being
Yeah.
a bully to the people that have a lot of money. He's being a bully to
No.
poor people who have nothing. Immigrant people who have nothing. That's really you don't want. Who wants that? Nope, nobody wants that unless they want to be, unless
But
they're,
it's a whole course in miracles when you think about it. Him getting
Yeah.
elected, it's a course in miracles right there.
yeah,
Special hate and special love. And yeah, he's our bully, but the thing is that a lot of people probably will get hurt, the most vulnerable, which is just the way it is, I
Well,
guess.
man, he's very, very honest about that. He says
yeah,
he says
it's,
the first thing he's gonna do is kick out all the immigrants,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
he's likely to do it. That's the problem. He's one of the few presidents that has no
Yeah,
problem with
he'll
doing it.
do what he
Yeah,
says.
he'll do it. At least he'll try to do it. I mean, the first
Yeah.
thing he did when he originally was he banned Muslims from the country.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Right, right.
he says he doubles down on this stuff, and man, how stupid it is, and how dumb it is, man, and then he somehow comes through. Everyone still votes for him.
And then he says they're eating the dogs. Like that was like
Yeah,
what? Like
I can
that's like
I can
that
believe
doesn't
it.
sound like a person with half a brain.
Yeah, it's a very strange brain, a
Right.
deranged brain. I can believe.
That's how I see it. Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
definitely
was eating the
psycho.
dogs. I know that. I was like, what just happened?
Oh,
I
hey, we're
was,
eating the chickens. Come on, we're all deranged. Why am I everybody on the job?
Because like other places,
Control.
like other European countries are having, at least this is what I read anyway, that they feel like bad for America that we're so dumb to vote him in because we
Oh
are
my
going to go
God,
back in
that's
time.
funny.
We're going to go
Yeah.
back in
Americans
time.
are starting to realize just how dumb they are. Woo!
It's hilarious.
Sorry.
And I don't want to think it's not half the people in the country. Only about
Oh,
40% of the people actually voted. So it's
Right,
about
yeah.
20% of the country.
That's the problem.
Wow,
I mean, I want
that's
to tell you, I have
interesting.
friends that said I'm not voting because with the misinformation, they didn't believe Kamala, but I trusted my own,
Oh,
just watching her, I found her wanting unity, wanting what I want.
Yeah.
You know, and what I want is freedom for I just want everybody to be treated fairly. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good
yeah, that ain't
luck.
happening
I
in
want,
this
I,
world.
want, I want somebody who's not in the news every day with scandal.
That would be nice too.
Every single day it
He's
reminded
so
me of-
gross. I'm sorry,
yeah,
he's gross, and I'll say
yeah.
it because I
Yes.
don't
All
care.
right. Well, let's close this out. Our time is up.
Okay.
In the dream, though,
Yeah.
in the dream,
I didn't
I'm
say.
allowed not to like someone. I don't like them.
I understand. It makes perfect sense. All right, everyone. God bless you all. I love you all. It's nice to
Thank you for a
Thank
great
you.
morning.
absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye,
Guys, I love you
everyone.
all.
Take care.
This
Love
is
you.
so
Bye-bye.
awesome
Bye-bye.
because we get to talk about all the things we're
Thank
not
you
supposed to
again.
talk